This regular meeting of the Coralville City Council to order, please. August 25th, 2020 via Zoom technology tonight. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Foster.
Present.
Gross.
Here.
Dodds.
Here.
Goodrich.
Here.
Okay, all council members are present, as is the mayor, city clerk, city administrator, city attorney, and several other city staff. I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda with one amendment. And that is, I would ask that we approve the agenda with an amendment to item 16A to read the correct date of approving minutes for the August 18th, 2020 City Council special meeting. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the agenda
Okay, as
with the
amended.
August 18th amendment.
Great. Moved by Goodrich, seconded by
Second.
Foster. All in favor say aye.
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 Okay, thank you. The agenda is approved. Now, item 4 is citizen comments. Is there anyone there that would like to speak to us tonight?
No.
Okay. And I didn't see that we received any specific citizen comments for the meeting tonight. So,
No written ones.
okay. Then we'll move on to item 5, official zoning map, public hearing. This is an item to adopt the 2020 updated zoning map. The current map has seen many updates in recent decades, but has not been updated or approved in any official capacity during this time. Dave Johnson will be giving the building report. He's our building, more than a building official, director of community development. Is that the right title?
Correct, Mayor.
Okay,
yes.
Thank you. I have to get used to saying that. That's new. And Dave will say this, but I'm going to say it too, that during this action, we're not changing any zoning. So any zoning characteristics, just updating the map.
That's correct. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, City Council members. This is actually a very exciting project for our community, our city. This was done with the assistance of Esmita Pudel, who is an intern with us this summer. She interned from May 25th until August 5th. And this was a significant research project that she did, and she did a wonderful job. She came to us from the University of Iowa School of Planning and Public Affairs. And again, I can't speak highly enough of Esmita as well as this program. Without their assistance and dedication to this, I'm not sure that we would have been able to accomplish this in this short of a period of time. So with that said, Mayor, you are correct. That is probably the paramount thing to communicate at this point, is that this project did not rezone anybody's property. This project was merely a housekeeping item, really for the Community Development Department. Thank you, John. And what we did was we updated zonings and corrected zonings that had previously been approved by the Planning and Zoning Commission as well as City Council. So again, the big takeaway from this is we did not rezone anybody's property with this project. We did go back about 10 years and research, or I should say Esmita went back 10 years and researched all of the rezonings that happened in the city of Coralville. In that time, she found some anomalies, some clarifications that needed to be made in the map. I think there were a little over 40 in total, in which case she made those corrections, and they're reflected in the map that has been provided to City Council this evening. So again, this is really a update project. This is correcting or updating a map based on previously approved rezoning petitions from the Planning and Zoning Commission, as well as City Council. So the Planning and Zoning Commission did review this item at their August 5th, 2020 meeting. By a vote of 6-0, the Planning and Zoning Commission did recommend that City Council adopt the map. One of the nice things about this project, and one of the things that I'm most excited about, is how this is going to help our residents as well as the development community in the city of Coralville. John, if you wouldn't mind moving to that screenshot. Thank you. So this is a screenshot of the Johnson County Property Information Viewer. This is the public GIS database that much of the real estate and development community uses in the corridor area. And what you see before you is Iowa City. Iowa City has all of their zoning districts on here, as does a number of other more rural communities in Johnson County. When I arrived in Coralville, I noticed we were not represented on this, and this was one of the first projects that I really wanted to undertake. So in short time, once this is officially adopted, this will be integrated into our land use plan map. It will be placed on our webpage, but all of the GIS data, the Geographic Information System data that we put together for this project will be shared with Johnson County, and they will publish this information on the Property Information Viewer. So appraisers, real estate agents, developers will instantly be able to go to a property in the city of Coralville and find out exactly not only size, frontage, other development concern items, but they'll be able to find out what the zoning is on that. They'll be able to see also overlay districts. They will also be able to see floodplain and things of that nature. So I'm very excited about this. This is something we get a lot of calls about, and we're excited to present this to City Council and hope to have your support in this. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. That was a great report, and thank the interns. She did a fantastic job, it sounds like.
She did.
Don, I'd like to have the first reading of the ordinance, please.
Do you have the public hearing?
Oh, yep, there, you're right. Thank you for keeping me on my toes. Item C is a public hearing. I will now open the public hearing on this revised official zoning map. Are there anyone in the City Hall would like to comment? No? Any written comments?
No written.
Okay, then the public hearing is closed, and now let's do the first reading of the ordinance.
Ordinance number 2020-1009, an ordinance amending the Coralville zoning ordinance, the same being ordinance number 664 as previously amended, by adopting a new official zoning map for the city of Coralville, Iowa, introduced for adoption for first consideration by Councilmember Foster, seconded by.
Seconded by Goodrich. Any discussion?
Can you talk a little bit about, so how often this will be updated? Will it be updated monthly? Will it be updated quarterly?
Yes, I plan on publishing updated PDFs of the map quarterly on our website. However, I'll be sharing this data out real time with Johnson County. So as a rezoning request moves through and it's approved by Planning and Zoning and City Council, I will take the shapefile or the DWG, the CAD file that's provided to us, and I can share that with Johnson County, and we're going to partner on this, and they'll keep that map updated. So it'll almost be real time.
Awesome, thank you.
Anything else? Okay, roll call. Roll call, Don, or Kevin?
Kevin.
Gross.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Foster.
Aye.
Okay, the ordinance passes its first consideration, all ayes. Item 6 is the official land use map. And this is an item to adopt the 2020 updated land use map that reflects past petitions, adopted ordinances, and corrected mapping errors since the adoption of the Community Plan 2014 edition and the 2016 West Land Use Area Master Plan map. Again, Dave, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mayor. Again, as much as I'd like to take credit for this project, much of the credit actually goes to Asmita Pudel and the University of Iowa School of Planning and Public Affairs. So again, kudos to them. This was another extensive research project that Asmita undertook for us in that 2-month period. She did a wonderful job. As part of this project, when I wanted to integrate the West Land Use Area Master Plan with the 2014 Community Plan. I fielded a number of questions from developers, real estate professionals about land use designations, what the land use plan might support. And after a short period of time, I realized that marrying these two documents would make sense. Both of these documents, of course, were vetted by the Planning and Zoning Commission as well as City Council. And now there is a singular source of information for our development community and for our residents to go to for land use information in the city. So again, this was really an effort to eliminate confusion, to add a little bit more transparency to what we're doing, and in an effort to improve our level of service for our residents here in Coralville. So again, the big benefit to this was a unified and updated singular point of reference for our developers. For this project too, there was quite a bit of research involved. Our intern went back about a little less than 10 years on this project and researched all the land use map amendments. And again, the takeaway on this is similar to the zoning map. We did not change anybody's land use plan designation. Again, that is a separate, that would be a separate undertaking and a separate process. That is not part of what this was. This was an update to the land use map. This was a consolidation of previously reviewed and approved land use designations. And this just corrected some errors on the previous land use map. So again, another housekeeping item that I've been wanting to do in the community development department for the city of Coralville. Again, in total, we found about 40 anomalies that we wanted to correct. There was a couple instances where a park, City Coralville Park, land use designation was expanded after development. But again, no changes were made to private property with this effort. So with that, I would be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you, Dave. Again, great job to your leadership and the intern. Item C is a public hearing on this revised official land use map. I'm going to assume, Mr. Clerk, that there are no written nor verbal comments for this.
No people present to comment and no written comments.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, was the Planning and Zoning Commission report given?
Oh,
Dave?
Mr. Mayor, if I may, the Planning and Zoning Commission did review this map at their August 5th, 2020 meeting. By a vote of 6 to 0, the Planning and Zoning Commission recommended City Council adopt the 2020 updated land use map.
Thank you. Thank you, Don, keeping us on our toes. I thought I heard that, but I don't think I did. So, okay, now I've opened the public hearing. There are no written or verbal comments. So I'm going to close the public hearing and consider the first reading of the ordinance.
Ordinance number 2020-1010, an ordinance amending the Coralville Community Plan 2014 edition by adopting a new official land use map for the city of Coralville, Iowa, introduced for adoption, first consideration by Councilmember Gross, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Dodds. Discussion? Roll call.
Dodds,
Aye.
Goodrich,
Aye.
Foster,
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
The ordinance passes its first consideration, all ayes. Item 7 is Lot 6, Coral Ridge Commerce Park, Phase 6, public hearing. This is an amended PUDB site plan that allows for a change in building materials, outdoor patio structure, and reverses the location of previously approved buildings on this site. Dave, would you please give us a building report and planning and zoning report?
I will, Mayor. Thank you very much. John, if you wouldn't mind going to the site plan, the first document, please. Thank you very much. So this project is probably very familiar to the City Council as it was recently presented to City Council. I believe back in June, this was reviewed and approved by the Planning Commission as well as City Council. However, Shortly after that approval, the developer had approached me about some changes that they wanted to make. The scope of those changes exceeded my ability to administratively make those changes, which is why it's before City Council today. So this is a 2.43 acre site bordered by Coral Ridge Avenue, Wheaton Road, and Cross Park Road. And proposed at this building are still, or at this location, are still 2 buildings. What has essentially happened is the buildings switched positions. The building that was formerly north is now south. The building formerly south is now north. The patio structure that was previously associated with the north building is now on the south building. So the plan has flipped. However, the footprints have remained the same. All the parking requirements are still met. There's actually a surplus of 16 parking stalls with this project based on the retail and restaurant uses proposed. John, if you wouldn't mind, please moving to the elevation views. Thank you. And if you wouldn't mind going to the colored renderings. Thank you. So the elevations remain the same. However, the materials have changed. Previously proposed were a mix of brown masonry trim and panels. Material types are the same, but as you will notice, the color schemes have changed significantly. Enclosed are the renderings that John is moving through. And I believe at the very end of this, there's a picture of the material board for this project to give you an idea of what those materials will look like. And the third and final change was a patio structure was added to the previously indicated patio area. That's located again on the south building, and it's constructed of heavy timber. John, if you wouldn't mind just scrolling back to that timber. There you go, thank you very much, to give the council an idea of what that will look like. So again, the proposed amendment does not represent a substantial change, however, significant enough to warrant reconsideration by the Planning and Zoning Commission as well as City Council. The Planning and Zoning Commission reviewed this application at their August 5th, 2020 meeting. By a vote of 6-0, the Commission recommended City Council approve the amended PUDB site plan for Lot 6, Coral Ridge Commerce Park, Phase 6. So I have it, you have to answer any questions. I also believe that Ben Logston from Build the Suit is with us this evening if you were to have any questions for him.
Okay, thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
Well, item C is the public hearing on this amended PUD site plan. So I will open the public hearing. Mr. Clerk, any written or verbal comments?
No comments from either the public or written.
Okay. Being none, I will close the public hearing and consider the resolution. Don?
Resolution approving the amended PUDB site plan for Lot 6, Coral Ridge Commerce Park, Phase 6, Coralville, Iowa. Introduced for adoption by Councilmember Dodds, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Goodrich. Any discussion? Roll call?
Goodrich,
Aye.
Foster,
Aye.
Gross,
Aye.
Dodd.
Hey, the ordinance passes. Passes unanimously. All ayes. Kevin, you're a little out of sync between the video and the audio tonight. Okay, item 8 is Scanlon Farms South Ridge public hearing. This will change the land use for a 3.49 acre parcel of the Scanlon Farms South Ridge development to mixed use. Once again, Dave.
Thank you, Mayor and City Council members. John, if you wouldn't mind, please going to the first exhibit on this. Thank you very much. So again, this exhibit may look familiar as this was a request recently reviewed and considered by the Planning and Zoning Commission and City Council. However, previously they requested a neighborhood commercial land use designation. Shortly after that was approved, the developer approached city staff about a change to the concept, and they have moved to a mixed use concept for this 3.49 acre piece. The developer has provided a general concept of what we could expect with such a project, but generally speaking, this will have commercial on the first floor with residential on the second and third floors. This is part of a larger 208 acre parcel of land that's going to be petitioned for development as a mixed residential project. This is intended to help support some of those residential uses, and mixed use areas are generally geared towards daily shopping, service, as well as convenience needs. So that could be considered consistent with nearby residential uses. Again, mixed uses are also intended to provide a vibrant, safe, attractive, and also a walkable environment. So with that said, John, if you wouldn't mind moving to the second exhibit, just to give City Council an idea of that bottom picture, which was provided to us by, again, the developer in this project. Architecturally, this will be complementary to the overall development scheme. However, again, those discussions are discussions that we'll have much further down the road. At this point, we're just looking at a land use map amendment. Should this be approved, I would anticipate shortly seeing a PUD-A site plan and a PUD, CPUD2 rezoning request for this particular piece of property. At that point, we'll be hammering out a lot more of the details in terms of form, mass, shape, design, site plan, layout, parking, and all of that good stuff. So with that, the Planning and Zoning Commission did review this request also at their August 5th, 2020 meeting. By a vote of 6-0, the Commission recommended amending the subject property land use plan map designation from neighborhood commercial to mixed use. Be happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Item C is public hearing on amending the land use of 3.49 acre portion of the Scanlon Farm South Ridge from neighborhood commercial use to mixed use. I will open the public hearing. And Mr. Clerk, any written or verbal comments?
No verbal or written comments.
Okay. Hearing none, I will close the public hearing and consider the first reading of the ordinance.
Ordinance number 2020-1011, an ordinance amending the Coralville Community Plan to reflect certain property generally known as a portion of the Scanlon Farms South Ridge, Coralville, Iowa, to be designated mixed use in place of neighborhood commercial use. It's introduced for adoption, first consideration by Councilmember Goodrich, seconded by.
Second. Seconded by Gross. Any discussion? Roll call.
Foster,
Aye.
Gross,
Aye.
Dodds,
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
The resolution is approved, the ordinance, first consideration is approved, all ayes. You sounded better there, Kevin. Item 9 is vacation, public hearing. This vacates an old utility easement for Lot 1 in Heartland Plaza, Part 11, at the request of Aldi's. Item A is a public hearing on the vacation of that certain utility easement that I just mentioned. I will open the public hearing on this land vacation. Any public written or verbal comments?
No verbal or written comments.
Okay, I will close the public hearing and consider a resolution.
Resolution vacating a portion of that certain public utility easement on Lot 1, Heartland Plaza, Part 11, Coralville, Iowa. Introduced for adoption by Councilmember Foster, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Goodrich. Discussion? Roll call.
Gross, Dodds,
Aye.
Goodrich,
Aye.
Foster.
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes. Item 10, IRL Conduit lease agreement. This is a Unite Private Networks LLC will lease a micro duct in the city's Conduit along East 9th Street to serve the Iowa River Landing District. Item A is a public hearing on this lease agreement. I'll open the public hearing. Any comments, written or verbal?
No verbal or written comments.
Okay. That being the case, I'll close the public hearing and consider the resolution.
Resolution approving a city conduit lease with Unite Private Networks LLC, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Gross, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Dodds. Discussion? Roll call?
Dodds,
Aye.
Goodrich,
Aye.
Foster,
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Resolution passes all ayes. Item 11 is the Master Co-Location Shared Services Agreement. This agreement will allow IMON to place some facilities in an empty space in Fire Station Number 2, and also allow the city and IMON to share ducts in each own access. I think there's a word missing. Share ducts, each own access across the city. I'll open a public hearing. Any written or verbal comments?
No verbal or written.
Okay, thank you. The resolution, please. Close the public hearing. Resolution.
Resolution approving a master collation shared service agreement with IMON Communications LLC, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Dodds, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Gross. Discussion? Roll call.
Goodrich,
Aye.
Foster,
Aye.
Gross,
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Resolution passes all ayes. Item 12 is a solid waste collector's permit. This is the third and final consideration of an ordinance that will create a licensing system for private solid waste collection companies and adopt rules and regulations to address increasing complaints regarding their operations. Don?
Ordinance number 2020-1008, an ordinance creating a solid waste collector's permit in the city and adopting rules and regulations. It's introduced for final adoption on third and final consideration by Councilmember Goodrich, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Foster. Discussion? Roll call.
Foster,
Aye.
Gross,
Aye.
Dodds,
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Ordinance passes its third and final, all ayes. Item 13 is Iowa COVID-19 Government Relief Fund. This is a resolution that will lead to reimbursement that will reimburse the city for direct expenses incurred in response to the COVID-19 emergency from the $100 million of State of Iowa CARES Act.
Resolution requesting reimbursement from the Iowa COVID-19 Government Relief Fund, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Foster, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Goodrich. Discussion? Do you want to say anything about this, Kelly? Unmute.
Appreciate the governor's action to share the funds with us. We do anticipate that we'll be able to get reimbursement for all of the funds that are available to us. And Ellen, do you know the time frame of when the funds can start flowing to us?
Our application for the first quarter, well, it's not really a quarter, March 1st through July 30th. Our application is due September 15th for that. And they say that they hope to turn it around pretty quickly. And then I believe our next application is due October 1st or October 15th for the next period. So we can continue claiming all the way through the end of December if we need to. This is the one where we can charge up to 25% of budgeted public safety costs, and that will allow us to recoup a lot of the expenses to get to the $529,000. You cannot charge anything that you're getting reimbursement for from FEMA, and of course you're required to go and get the FEMA reimbursement first for anything that's FEMA eligible. So we'll go through all of that process.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments from the council?
And I think it's just good to clarify, just for the folks that are watching, this is to cover expenses and not loss of revenue related to the pandemic, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, roll call, please.
Gross.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Foster.
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes. Item 14 is a community development block grant programs. Item A is authorizing a grant is for home buyer assistance program, which will provide a maximum of $24,999 per home buyer in down payment and closing cost assistance for 5 home buyers and is not to exceed $195,495. Eligible households must meet the state of Iowa's Housing Fund income guidelines. The resolution, please.
Resolution authorizing and directing the mayor to execute and sign that certain Iowa Economic Development Authority Community Development Block Grant contract number 20-HSBG-03, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Gross, seconded by.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Foster. Discussion?
Yeah, I would just like Ellen to address this, and then the next item. This was changed this year, and so we were able to apply, and she kept on top of this so that we were able to quickly get this application in, and it was first come, first serve, really. And so by working with Coralville residents on the next item, we were able to make sure that we were eligible for both of these programs. Ellen, you want to just report on both of them?
Yeah, we are really excited to have both of these opportunities and glad that the Iowa Department of Economic Development made these changes that have made it possible for us to access the funds. As you'll recall, for the owner-occupied rehabilitation program, we did have to have those homeowners identified before we applied. So that was part of, we were really kind of crunched because we wanted to do that and still get in one of the first applications. And then on the down payment assistance, we have not yet identified those people. And as we get more information, we will advertise for that opportunity. Right now, we're working with ECOG on the administration of these grants. ECOG is located in Cedar Rapids, and they've only recently gotten their internet service back. So we'll be just catching up with them on where they're at and look for more information on the next council agenda or the one after that. But we did have to do a significant amount of work just for the applications. So we expect to be able to get this off the ground within a fairly short time frame, probably 6 weeks or so.
Okay. Thank you, Ellen. Any other questions or comments? If not, roll call.
I'll just
Dodds.
say,
Oh,
these are
sorry.
yeah, these are significant funds for a new homeowner or someone in the community that's fixing up their home, and I hope we'll take advantage of it. Thank you for all your work to make this possible.
Thank you, Lori. It is, it's 11 homes and it is a significant step in our affordable housing efforts.
Yeah, that was the only other question, or, just again, for folks that are watching, if there's anybody that might be interested in this program, can you talk a little bit about what the income guidelines are for these?
I don't have that in front of me. It is the HUD guidelines, and when we put out the information about participating, that will be part of it. And that information will be on the Coralville website. We'll put it out in press releases and in social media, so people can watch for that. Or if they'd like us to send them the information when we have it, if they want to call City Hall, we'll take their name and number.
Awesome. And thank you again for all your work on this. This is really exciting.
Ellen, can I just jump in real quick too? Do we still have, Ellen, because we've before had like before and after pictures of people that have taken advantage of these things? Can we maybe post those on the website too? I just think it's one of those things for people to get like that physical view of just how transformative you can make your home with these funds.
Well, we can, yeah, but for the owner occupied, we do already have the people identified.
Oh, we do? Okay.
Yep.
Sorry if I missed that. My bad.
That was something that we had to do prior to applying.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, we had that done before July 1st.
Okay. Thank you.
That was a requirement.
Makes sense. Yep.
Okay, roll call, please.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Foster.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Resolution passes all ayes. Item B is a similar program for exterior rehabilitation. This grant is for owner-occupied housing exterior rehabilitation program, which will provide up to $25,000 per home for exterior improvements for 6 homes and is not to exceed $234,994. Eligible households must meet the state of Iowa's Housing Fund income guidelines. A resolution, please.
Resolution authorizing and directing the mayor to execute and sign that certain Iowa Economic Development Authority Community Development Block Grant, contract number 20HSG010, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Dodds, seconded by.
Second.
Second by Foster. Yep, seconded by Foster. Any discussion? Roll call.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Foster.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes. Item 15, are we ready for this item, Kelly, or?
We did hear from Kevin, and because there was something came up with Betty that she will not be able to make it tonight, so we will reschedule her for a future meeting.
Okay, but did you say we are going to talk with Kevin, or what did you say?
No, I said Kevin had indicated, excuse me, Kevin is the local president of the Iowa City chapter of NAACP. And so he had indicated that Betty is not going to be able to make it tonight, but we will get her rescheduled at a future meeting.
Okay. So is anything that you would like to say, or are we just going to pass over this item? Or?
Yeah, I think we can just wait till the next meeting when we can get Betty here. We did get a chance to meet with Kevin with the management team and talk about the Iowa City chapter of NAACP. And then he brought 2 of his board members along with him as well. And so we got an opportunity to hear about the resources that they have available to them. And he talked a little bit about his ability to help us recruit when we're looking for employees, when we're looking for board and commission members. Those are all things that they are very willing to do, is help us in those particular areas. And they are working on updating their model community police program ordinance. And so that's one of the things that from a national standpoint that they are working on as well. So depending on the schedule for that, we'll wait to hear from Betty on that as to whether we want to go ahead and adopt the current one that we have, and then so that we can move forward with that and then adopt any changes at a later date. So we'll wait to hear from them on that.
And I'll just mention that I also attended that management team meeting when Kevin James and his board members made the presentation, and I was extremely impressed by Kevin and his colleagues and discussion and just all that they have to offer. It was just very informative for me, and I'll be anxious for Betty to speak to us as a council. And Kevin was also very complimentary about Shane Crone, our police chief, and how much he's enjoyed working with Shane over the summer months. So I'm very, very excited about this relationship.
Can you share some of the information that they, just kind of a few highlights of some of the things that they, some of those resources that you mentioned that they have?
Yeah, I mean, number one, the recruitment is one that they are able to help us with, which is significant. And that's one of the areas that we've struggled with for many years. And so that is one. Training is another area that they have resources both within the NAACP as well as recommended other folks that would provide training depending on what the topic is. And so they had quite a wide variety of things that they can help us with in those areas. And so those are really, I think, the top two things that stuck out in my mind. They help community members when they have issues with local government or state government for that matter. And that they serve as a resource that they can look objectively into what complaints or concerns people have. And I think that's another very valuable resource that can be offered to community members.
And he spoke to how long they've been an organization, over 100 years, and that they've had a long history and a great deal of experience working with communities.
Yeah, that's one thing that I think is really beneficial, Mayor, when you meant the longevity of that organization and the fact that they have a long, like you said, a history and a lot of a lot of resources at their disposal because of that. I think that, I'm excited to learn more, and I think this could be a really great partnership that we have.
I believe, and I don't remember, Mayor, if you remember the exact number, it's either 8 or 10 chapters that they have in the state of Iowa. And so there's a student chapter at the University of Iowa, and then there's the Iowa City area chapter as well. So that's in addition to the others. I know Sioux City, Waterloo, Des Moines, Dubuque were all areas that I remember that they had indicated had chapters as well.
Our audience, could you tell what those initials stand for?
The National Association for the Advancement of Colored Persons. So it's an organization that was started by W.B. Du Bois years and years and years ago with the premise that the law was on the side of people of color, but the actions of people weren't supporting the law. So the whole purpose of the NAACP was to then basically pursue legal means to make sure that laws were in fact enforced. So that's kind of the history of the organization. It kind of came out of it's called the Niagara Movement is where it came out of. I used to teach it, so I feel pretty passionate about it. But it's Kelly just indicated, I mean, it's really been the stalwart of civil rights organizations.
Nice work, Mitch.
Yeah, it's great to have you as a resource.
Thank you, yeah.
Okay, well, I think we'll move on then, and I would entertain a motion to consider approving the amended consent calendar.
Mayor, I would move to approve the consent calendar A through O inclusive with the amendment previously made to number A.
Okay, moved by Dodd, seconded by,
Okay.
I'm sorry, who did that? Raise your hand.
Gross.
Mitch, okay, seconded by Gross. Any discussion?
Mayor, I'm the only man on the council left, so if you hear my...
I didn't really hear you, so.
Right.
Roll call, please.
Foster.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
Dodds.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Consent calendar is approved unanimously as amended. Item 17 is City Administrator Report.
Yeah, I have several items, Mayor. First of all, would just like to remind people that the special election for this Coralville City Council position has been set for September 29th, the last Tuesday in September. Anyone interested in running for council, you need to file a petition that will have 25 signatures, and you get that petition from the Johnson County Auditor's Office. And that is due, the 25 signatures, by September 4th at 5:00 p.m. So we will be sending out a press release and have that on our website and put it on social media as well. But just wanted to make sure everybody knew of those dates. Do remind people that the auditor's office is closed and you do need to make an appointment to like drop off your petition or if you had questions or anything like that. So encourage people, and that information will be available on our website as well. So that will be coming up. Also, in regards to the recent storm and brush and cleanup, our streets department, along with a lot of help from the Iowa Department of Transportation, has done a great job making it through our community. They have been through all of Coralville twice now. And so they have also, we have the location on the old Hawkeye Express parking lot. And that is also still open. So we will be moving to a different system, and we'll be sending this information out as well. We will ask that people either call or email us if they have brush that needs to be picked up, because it takes a long time to get all the way through the city and not know where exactly people have items. So we will be continuing to provide this service through September 11th, but it'll just switch to people need to let us know that we need to stop and pick those items up. And the drop site will also be available until September 11th as well. We had a local contractor that purchased a brand new tub grinder, and that's what takes those big piles of brush and then turns it into chips. And he actually asked to come and test his new equipment out on some of our brush piles today. And so late this afternoon, about 5 o'clock, I was able to see his new equipment, and he made it through half of our smaller of the piles in no time flat. And so it was really interesting to see that. And so Eric will be exploring with him, working with him to do that in regards to all of our brush that's out at the drop site. So once again, just like to thank Eric Fisher, who has coordinated that. He's our Streets and Solid Waste Superintendent, has done an excellent job of coordinating all of those efforts. And we've had lots of community volunteers along with the Iowa Department of Transportation that has helped us successfully get to this point, which is pretty amazing considering what it looked like. And I know there's still some folks out there that have brush in their backyard. So remember, we will be providing this service until September 11th. Would like to share just a real quick video with you. If John, you can share this for me. This is a video of Goodwill's first packaging today. They have started up and they had their first contract. And thank you, John. I thought it was very interesting because this work that just started today, those cans of soybean oil will be going to Ethiopia. So from Coralville, Iowa to Ethiopia, and that was their first contract that Goodwill received for the soybean oil. So I thought it was really exciting to see their process and that they are up and running with their new facility. And so congratulations to Goodwill. Finally, we'll just remind people that we have coming up, September 17th is the ribbon cutting for the Extreme Arena and for Green State Fieldhouse. That'll be at 4 o'clock, and then there'll be an open house afterwards. And then on September 20th, it's a Sunday afternoon, there'll be a community open house that day as well. Also in September, you can, if you are a pickleball player, or if you've never played pickleball, you can play in the month of September for free in the Green State Fieldhouse. So I would encourage people to challenge Councilmember Mitch Gross and see if you can take him on in pickleball. So that's all I have.
Challenge accepted.
Thank you, Kelly.
It's a real form of tennis.
Okay, mayor's report. Just a three things. First of all, I want to, I should of course, echo what Kelly said, is thanking Eric Fisher, but also all the city employees that stepped up in one way or another and helped really very efficiently clean up our community. They did an amazing job, and we also appreciate the help and assistance that the Iowa Department of Transportation provided us. So thanks to everyone in the community at large for everyone pitching in. I think everyone knows by now that the Coralville lost an outstanding citizen this past week in Mel Stammer. Gosh, I think I haven't met anybody, I think, that did not know who Mel Stammer was, partly because he was forever a mailman or a postman in the area. And I guess you get to know all your customers on your routes, and he did it long enough that he covered almost all the different routes in town. So, but Mel is just very involved in many of the political activities in the local scene, and it's raising his kids and just an outstanding family. And it was just so sad that he fell victim to the COVID-19 pandemic and virus. So our condolences go out to Mel's family, Kathy, and his two children. On a much happier note, I want to send out a hearty congratulations and thank you to Officer Tim Vest with the Coralville Police Department. This past Sunday was his retirement celebration after, you know, Kelly, how many years? The invitation did not have a number of years. 28?
Yes, and that was after being on the Cedar Rapids Auxiliary, and then he was at short time with Johnson County.
Okay. But again, 28 years, Tim Vest served our city with utmost integrity on the Coralville Police Department. So we wish Tim well. I know that he's an avid woodworker, and that's one of the things that's on his to-do list, but I'm sure he and his wife, Janet, probably have a much longer list than that for him to do. So thanks, Tim, for your service. And I believe that wraps it up for the mayor's report. So city attorney report.
Kevin?
I've got nothing.
I have nothing additional, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Committee and council members report. I'll go in backwards order and start with Councilmember Dodds.
I think everybody's hit everything I had on my list, so I will move things along. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Councilor Gross.
I've got a couple of things, Mayor. First of all, and you covered some of the things that I was too, but I was also going to congratulate Officer Vest. And one of the memories I have of Tim, I had his kids in class, and they're just a great family. But probably my first couple of weeks of being an administrator at Northwest Junior High, we had a student with intellectual disabilities elope from school, which was concerning because the child had started running towards 12th Avenue, and this child would not have really known, proper to stop in traffic. And Officer Vest came after he called and I just remember the compassion he showed her when he got her to come into his car was just tremendous. So it's a huge loss for our community. So thank you, Officer Vest. And likewise, actually before council meeting tonight, I actually met with Mel's children, John and Carly, at St. Morrison Park. I had both of them in class and knew Mel well, and just to talk about their dad. And the thing I think they also wanted just to reiterate was just the importance of social distancing and wearing a mask. And for people who think that COVID is a joke or you're not going to get it or this or that, it took the life of their dad. So they please, because I actually said, I've got to go to council. And they said, please make one more push for mask wearing in our community. So I feel like I need to do that. And I think just in honor of Mel too, as I was thinking about his service at the post office and elections and voting and just kind of what we're talking about mail-in ballots, I hope, and I know we need time to plan this, but definitely for the November election for sure, I hope we can have that discussion about making sure we have transportation provided from the city to polling places to make sure that people can vote. That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mitch. Councilmember Foster.
Well, yes, not much to add to what others had said. Also wanted, just to say sad to hear the news of Mel's passing and pass along condolences to his family. He will be greatly missed. The only other thing that I had was I wanted to share some information about an event that's going to be happening on Saturday, August 29th. It's called the Community Kickback Event. It's from 11 to 3 p.m. And it is a voter registration drive, which I think is really important as we are gearing up for election season, making sure as many people as possible are registered to vote. There will be free food, music, games, and also free haircuts for back to school. And of course, you know, physical distancing and masks are required for that event. So that should be a lot of fun way to get people registered to vote, and also, you know, to have some fun before school starts. And then the only other thing I had was that I just wanted to, you know, ask again about getting our housing document on the agenda one last time, or on a work session agenda, just so we can take a quick look at it and see if there's anything we need to add and take some steps to get that finalized. You know, I'm really excited about what we're doing with the CDBG programs. I'd like to kind of, you know, kind of wrap it all up with getting that housing document finalized at some point. And that is all I have, other than, you know, I think that maybe I need to see what pickleball is all about, because, and maybe Mitch and I should, maybe Mitch could, you know, challenge me, even though it would be unfair because I've never played pickleball and I really don't know what it is even.
It will be like Bobby Riggs versus Billie Jean King back in the day, in the battle of the sexes. Yeah.
I've never played it. I don't even know what it is. So maybe I'll check that out. I need a hobby. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Megan. Councilmember Goodrich.
I noticed that Kevin Burt is going to be performing down in the IRL by the Marriott tomorrow night. Just sounds like a fun thing from 6 to 8, I believe, or evening times. So invite everybody out to that. And also look for the Center for Performing Arts Committee was able to tour the arena, and it's just so amazing that we have this arena in our community. And I look forward to lots of people coming to the open house. So hope you all make plans for that. Thanks.
Thank you. Did you say 8 o'clock tomorrow night for Kevin Burt?
I think it's 6 to 8.
6?
Yeah.
6. Okay, great. Your audio's not the best, so okay. Thank you. I'll just jump back to mention that I did, while you were giving your reports, I jumped on the computer to see, as of yet, the Johnson County Auditor does not have anything about our special election. I'm sure they'll be putting it up soon. However, there is information about the September 1st Tiffin special election, and there is a link to the generic nomination petition and affidavit of candidacy, which are, those two documents are the same, whether it would be for our special election or Tiffin. So if someone really wanted to get a jump on things, they can download those two documents from the auditor's website. And under the Tiffin election, like I said, I'm sure Coralville will be listed very soon.
Mayor, I would also add the Iowa Secretary of State's site has a candidate's guide as well. And so they have the same information. They have the nomination papers, the affidavit of candidacy, as well as the petition. You just need to choose the one that's for one. I think it's the Johnson County Auditor says nonpartisan, and the Secretary of State says for a city election. So, you know, either of those works, and the Secretary of State does have the candidate's guide, which I don't believe the Johnson County Auditor site does.
Great. Thank you, Alan. Anything else from anyone for the good of the order for the formal meeting? Okay, if not, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved by Foster, seconded by?
Second.
By Goodrich. All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, we are adjourned.